Peace, love. It's a beautiful day. Let's ask a beautiful question. So, even though you're the black sheep, did you realize that you got used to still being a sheep with no intentions to be the goat? Let's talk about it. The first part we'll talk about is surface level rebellion, emphasis on standing out and being different from the norm without deeper self reflection, right? You know, I watch, and I think I used to be at that state of mind too, where, and remember, it's not about who you are, it's where you are. Let's get personal, right? Surface level rebellion. I know people, and I used to be people that were the black sheep in the herd. They got so dope at being exceptional amongst sheep that they didn't realize that they were still part of the herd. You understand what I'm saying? The reference and relevance to being the GOAT is to not focus on the aspect of surface level rebellion, but continue to raise your frequencies through self reflection. It is no longer about the herd. You heard? It's more so about you. So the longer we take comparing ourselves to other sheep, shit, I think sometimes we enjoy being better than the herd. But remember, you're still part of the herd. That's why it's so odd, right? I think sometimes it may be an aspect of vanity. Man, I'm a hustler. Niggas ain't really like me. Blase blah, etc. You know, after a while, I know for me personally, that got kind of draining. Yeah, it began to kind of drain me. And I was like, why? Because it seemed like I was limiting myself and my limits was based on the herd. So I could never be the GOAT, the greatest of all time, because my standards were always based on the herd. You have to understand when you self reflect and you get to a different space in time where you can, subconsciously sit and dive into introspection, you've become a god. You got to understand that. Comparison is the thief of joy. What are we trying to steal joy from? Who are we trying to convert? Are we trying to convert the other sheep to black sheep? Did we get good at being better than the sheep because the sheep look up to us? After a while, all these standards and these social standards don't even fucking matter. So rather than comparing yourself to the other sheep, it's time that you separate yourself and understand that comparison steals joy away from who you can be. You could be so much more fucking limitless if you just focused on you and reflecting on yourself, right? So as we get better at dodging surface level rebellion, remember it is a path, it is a journey, it is a process. But nobody ever stays a freshman forever. And to you motherfuckers that are still freshmen, I think we got a deeper question. Yeah? Let's let's take another angle. Let's dive into the second aspect, right? And what do I think the second aspect is? Comparison and competition. This shit's so serious. I gotta write this shit down because I want to go deep about this, right? Comparison and competition. Focused on outperforming others within the same system rather than striving for personal development. I want you to understand, right, how stuck you become when you've limited yourself to your environment, right? So I grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn, right? But subconsciously, I always felt like I could be bigger than Brownsville. I always felt like I could be bigger than Brooklyn. I always felt like the sky wasn't the limit for me, right? And I felt that naturally. There's no need to intellectualize it. Sometimes we get so caught up in this competitive nature, right? That you never just enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's not about anybody else besides you. This is your story. You need to understand the more you focus on others, that's why I try, like I'm judgmental, but I try to be very easy and calm and sound when I'm judging motherfuckers. Because I understand that my creation of who they may be is still not who they are. And another thing, just to jump off a little bit, I don't try to change people. That is never my goal. I think that was a part of my life that I left behind because I had to put more time and focus into changing me into a better me. I grew up in a society that craves pessimism. And pessimism comes from my ancestors. Don't walk down that block. 5 years ago, people died at that dead end. But in 5 years, nobody has died. You're still focused on what happened 5 years ago, and you're not caught up with today's reality. There's some type of cognitive dissonance there. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. Neuroplasticity always reigns supreme. You feel me? But back to the aspect of comparison and competing. We need to stop competing. I even watch people compete through struggles. You trauma bond, and rather than finding a solution, you're more focused on telling a better story. Oh, yo, bro, I ain't gonna front. Shorty was bugging. She hit me yesterday. Yo, you wouldn't believe what she did to me, bro. We was playing Monopoly. She tried to stab me for no reason for all the cash. The whole goal is to create a better fantasy. Now you're even competing within the aspects of describing your struggle. This shit gotta stop. It has to stop. You need to understand, right? The only thing stopping you from being limitless is you. That's what I'm saying. It's you. Put the black sheep syndrome on pause and take a moment and realize it's you against you. And the enemy is negativity, negative perspectives. A positive experience is you accepting negative. And that's how you hurt positively. You understand? I love talking about things like these because it's time that we dive into that aspect. Some people are thriving too much off this fake motivation of, we get it. You've told people this before and they seem amazed. But when it comes to someone such as myself that is very limitless and open-minded in thinking, you could go a lot further. Why focus on what you've done? Let's focus on what you can do. Yeah? All right. Last but not least, let's dive into the lack of authenticity. This is the third level, right? I wrote it down. Failure to embrace true self-discovery and purpose in favor of maintaining a facade of uniqueness within the herd. Listen, black sheep syndrome is real. I made it the fuck up. I don't care. But I see it and I can run with it genuinely, and I'm breaking it down. The lack of authenticity. It's the fact that you're so focused on how unique you are within the herd that you don't actually see who you really are, right? You're just another outlier, anomaly within your environment. But what about being the outlier and the anomaly within you? Your whole goal is to be better than you was the last second. Be better than you was yesterday. The whole goal is not to focus on the struggles of the survival paradigm because you've made it to the reason and integrity paradigm. It's time to start living with reason and integrity is undivided. So we're at this space where I think when you have that black sheep syndrome, BSS, right? Wow, BSS. Anywho, belief system bullshit. My thing is this: when you have that bullshit, that black sheep syndrome, you don't really create who you are. You're not there yet. You hang around that environment and they big you up and they're like, yeah, bro, you made this and that and oh wow, you're doing great. Look, I've seen it happen so many times. You'll be in that paradigm, right? Going through the black sheep syndrome and you're not separating yourself because you love being unique to the herd. You heard? Look at people such as there's rappers who have genuinely love hanging around the herd and had black sheep syndrome and they didn't even notice the jealousy. They didn't even notice that, oh, damn, I pulled up in my hood with a Lamborghini and there's somebody watching going through situations with Con Ed, National Grid. And they're like, damn, this motherfucker pulled up with a Lamborghini to the hood. I never seen that before. Wow. So now we get comfortable stunting on the sheeps. You feel me? When you become the GOAT, you're somewhat like Jay-Z. You leave the hood alone. You rap about, I do the same. You rap about where you came from. You rap about how you thrive through it. But there's no need and no will to go back to show that you're the best sheep. Because once you've made that step back in, you're in a whole nother paradigm. And that's why I think lacking authenticity when it comes to that aspect can also lead to one's demise, right? So let's be very careful, right? So let's go over it again, right? You got the first one, we got surface level rebellion. Let's get the fuck out of that. Try to manifest higher aspects of yourself and realize you're not at war with no one, right? You're only at war with negative perspectives and your goal is to accept them. Yeah? Comparison and competition. Comparison is the thief of joy. How long do you take joy away from your personal aspects and your personal self by comparing yourself to others, whether that be sheep or motherfuckers you look up to that you don't even know? A lot of you motherfuckers want to be 50 because you seen who Boo Boo was, but you never met Curtis. You understand? You're so caught up on the aspect of who he was, you never notice the greatness that came from who he is, right? And then you got the lack of authenticity. We're trying to be better us, right? Your authenticity shouldn't be lacking. You should be improving, not impressing. You understand what I'm saying? So let's get to a point where we're clear on who we want to be. No more black sheep syndrome. It's okay, you heard, to not be a part of the herd. Yeah? Let's get out of it. Stay happy. Stay loving. Follow us on Patreon. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok for more content because we're here to bless your soul, heal your soul. And my goal is to create perceptions and perspectives from things that you know about. And my goal is to expound on them in a genuine way so we reap the benefits and learn from it, right? So we can actually heal, right? The whole goal is so we can heal. Much love, much peace. Enjoy your beautiful day and have fun. Follow for more content. Yeah? Love, peace. It's a pleasure. Leave the black sheep syndrome alone. We don't get nowhere with it. Yeah? Love yourself, love your kids, love your family, love your immediates, because that is all that matters. Trust me. It's the only thing that you can understand. Love.